foot in that position, but downshift.
All right, let me try it. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today we're gonna be looking at Jack's 2017 BRZ. Let's get into it. So Jack's gonna go ahead and give us a good walk around and overview on the car and just kind of tell us everything about it.
So first thing I got done was the Maxton design splitter. I did have to take out the front grille so that I could properly attach the splitter rods to the crash bar.
And did you have to cut the grill out, or is that just something that like pops out?
It just popped out. You have to take the front bumper off and then undo some clips, and then it pops right out. Putting the front bumper back on, once you take it off a couple times, it has some fitment issues.
Yeah, that's a fairly common BRZ issue though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then the tow hook was a recent addition.
So let's move on to the side of the car. So you have these super awesome wheels. Can you just kind of tell us what wheels these are and what the specs are on them?
Yeah, so they are Koenig decograms. They are 18 by 9.5, a 35 offset, running a 255. I mean, it's
a pretty
lot.
It's a meaty setup.
Car, yeah.
Because you know it's stock body, but he's pretty much running, I would say probably the widest setup you could go for. Well, one of the widest setups you could go for stock body, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I do probably have about an inch of wheel poke right now. So
I would say a little bit less. So
think? Like an inch and a half, or half an inch.
Yeah, it's a little. I think it's pretty much perfect. It's a really good aggressive setup.
It is aggressive.
And then, did you do anything to the suspension to fit it like that?
Yeah, so I have some aftermarket strut towers and Skunk 2 lowering springs.
Yeah. So the Skunk 2 lowering springs are really nice. They lower the car in the front 1.4 inches, and then in the rear they lower it 1.6 inches. I think it's a really good setup for this car, especially if you're going for like a track fitment setup. It's really nice. So for the rear of the car, it's all business. He's got this wicked rear diffuser that I have never seen on another BRZ. And I mean, this is just so unique and so wild, but I just think it looks awesome, especially for the setup that he's going for. He's also got a few other bits, but I'm gonna let him talk about it. So go ahead.
So for the diffuser, I actually had to reach out to someone in Canada and have them personally CNC every single panel and have it shipped to me through some weird Canadian shipping system.
Let's just say it's rare.
I mean, the install was fairly simple. I had to cut off this piece of the rear bumper just using a box cutter. It was super easy.
Did you have to like sand it or anything to get it smooth?
No sanding at all. And then from there, you take the rear bumper off, take the crash bar off, paint your crash bar, drill into the crash bar, and then assemble the diffuser, and you're good to go.
So essentially, it's like a real diffuser because it's connected to the chassis.
Yeah,
of the car.
so it is a chassis mounted diffuser.
That's awesome. And then what exhaust is this?
It's a Spec D.
Spec D?
Yeah.
The car sounds awesome. And then give him a little bit of story on this little toe strap here and how it's so, let's say, burnt.
So I downshifted into second gear, and about 5,500 RPM, my car just backfired like crazy. And the toe strap got set on fire, and my friend called me and he was like, hey, you got to pull over, your toe strap's on fire.
Yeah.
And then it is now permanently black.
So yeah, it pretty much shot a fireball, and I guess it's probably the best time to tell him that yes, this car does shoot flames.
It does.
Not every time, but it definitely it can do it.
It does, yeah. They're loud too.
Yeah.
My neighbors don't like me.
Oh, that's with everyone. That's with everyone who has a modded exhaust.
True.
So Jack's BRZ does have some sentimental value to him. So kind of tell us a little story about what happened with your car.
So there is a bridge that leads from Savannah, Georgia to South Carolina. And as I was pulling onto the bridge, I got cut off by an 18-wheeler and I had to get over into the other lane, and I either hit the back of the 18-wheeler, slam on my brakes, lose control, or get over. And I got over as fast as I could, and I hit the car to the left of me on my back left side, and I ramped my car on the median. I mean, keep in mind this bridge is large.
It's a big bridge.
It's a big bridge.
I can drop a picture right here, and y'all be able to tell.
And
did you catch air when you jumped the median?
Yeah. I was up about 5-6 feet.
That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, the entire left side of the car has been completely rebuilt. To rear bumper, rear quarter panels, door, front quarter panels, the whole left side of the car is brand new.
So that whole side pretty much got redone after the accident.
Yeah.
And this car pretty much saved your life, right?
It did. That and my capabilities of knowing how to drive helped a lot. Knowing what to do when a car is like in a slide and knowing how to control it is something I'm very, very thankful for knowing how to do.
I think that's one of the cool things about owning a car like this is, while yes, it only has like 200 horsepower from the factory, but when you have a car that's this good at handling, especially on like around like this price range, you really are able to learn the car and really understand how a car feels, because when it doesn't have a lot of power, you can really get a good feel for it. And the cool thing is this car literally saved your life. It's a small car, and a lot of people think from the outside it's not that safe, but to do an accident like that and come out of it, I mean, did you have like any injuries from it?
I had 2 broken ribs. I mean, that was all from the seat too, because the seats are more or less bucket seats.
That's pretty rough.
Yeah.
But you don't want to sell this car ever, right?
No.
You say...
Yeah, I mean, the car was announced totaled twice.
Twice, really?
Yeah, at 2 different body shops. They said that they would never, ever be able to fix this. And the 3rd body shop I took it to, they were like, all right, it's a challenge, but let's do it.
I mean, to take a car from what it was, and do you have pictures of it that I could like probably drop in?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll drop a picture in here. You'll be able to see what the car looked like. It was pretty rough, but I mean, the car looks brand new now. And it's just really, it's an interesting story, because a lot of people, when they have their own car and they've owned it for a while, they come up with these stories. And that's a really interesting story for your car, and definitely something you can talk about for a lifetime.
I mean, the biggest thing was the entire rear axle up to like the diff.
Really?
Like fell out of the car.
Wow.
And it was not good.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, this back wheel was turned in about 45 degrees.
So they had to do a pretty good job readjusting everything. But...
Oh yeah, no, all of it's new. Like new axles, new everything.
Yeah. But driving the car, you'd never know, which is the cool thing.
Yeah. I mean, never in a million years.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so we've pretty much gone over everything on the car. Now let's go ahead and take it for a drive, and we'll be able to really see how the car feels. So go ahead and tell us, like, what kind of things do you have done to the car?
Well, I have equal length HKS headers, full catback exhaust, stage 2 tuning with Ecutech through Delicious Tuning with a pops and bangs map, so I can switch my maps through my cruise control.
So what air intake do you have?
I just have an HKS drop-in filter.
Does it have launch control?
It does.
It does?
Yeah.
We might need to try that out.
Okay. Don't make it pop or make it pop.
Make it pop. Yeah, but don't go like crazy fast. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get the car to pop.
great track car. Words can't even describe like how well it handles. I do plan on running E85 in the near future.
So how much horsepower do you think it's making right now?
Probably about 206, 208 to the wheel. Because I mean, from factory, it's 200 to the crank.
Which is probably like what, around like 160, 170?
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and do like a light pull just to kind of see how the car feels. So I'll probably be comparing it a lot to mine. So let's just go ahead and do a light pull and see how it is. Oh my God. Those pops. So my car, it doesn't have any tune on it. It's pretty much stock. Like on mine, all I have is the intake and exhaust. So I'm not really too used to hearing those pops. That's definitely a cool little surprise to hear that. That's for sure. So like, what's the sweet spot you would say that to get the pops to come out?
Anywhere between 4 and 6.
4 and 6,000 RPM,
Yeah.
Because I know with mine, when I shift at around 3,800 RPM, it definitely gives a little pop, like mid shift. But that's just the stock tune. But this one definitely has like a deeper, more throaty, or I guess a more raw sounding pop to it, because this is actually like with the tune it's meant to pop. The stock one I think just kind of sounds like it's popping when it's like
these
more
ones are like more gunshotty.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, just like at cruising speed, the car is really quiet. Like you would think hearing it when you're going all out it's gonna be loud, but I really like how the car feels. I don't really feel any drone, so that's really nice with the exhaust.
Really?
Yeah. Do you feel it?
Yeah.
Or maybe I just don't know what drone is. I don't know. But I don't like hearing any like bad like sound waves.
Well, I mean, on the highway, it's horrible.
Okay, yeah. Like we're just doing 30 right now, so you're not going to hear it too much. It's just kind of cool because when you own the same exact car, just with less modifications, it's I don't know how to describe it, but it's just an interesting feeling. And he's actually on the same lowering springs that my car has, which are the Skunk 2 lowering springs. So you do have the different struts, but with the lowering springs, it's probably going to feel similar. This one definitely feels a lot more planted, and he also does have the wider wheels and tires, so that could be a factor in it. But I really like how it feels. Okay, you definitely heard the pop that time. So how does this launch control work?
My tune is connected to my phone through Ecutech. Like I can do all my diagnostic readings through my phone. Turn traction control off on the phone, which turns off ABS. Like it turns everything off. Throw it in manual, and then you basically foot on the brake, foot on the accelerator. Whenever you're ready to go.
All right.
With what I had them do with this is because it's, well, I'm going to have them retune it once I boost it, but right now, because it's NA, I have my rev limiter for launch control set at a lower RPM.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if it would bounce off the rev limiter at like 3 or 4, I mean, I wouldn't have any tires.
You're right.
And I mean, they're still spinning at that low RPM.
Yeah. But it's weird because it didn't spin too much, but it's kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but it doesn't feel like it's spinning because it has so much traction. I guess once it starts spinning, it kind of regains traction anyways. Yeah. So you definitely feel like you still have a lot of control. That's probably partially due to just the car being the way it is, but it definitely feels nice for sure. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do like a light pull with it. This is gonna be around half throttle just to kind of get a feel for it, and I'll try to get it to pop mid shift. Popped on both of those, which that sounds awesome.
Like, don't take off the throttle all the way, like just a little.
Oh, leave it to get it to pop?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
slightly pressed. So I'm assuming it's probably pumping in gas.
Yes.
To get it to pop, right? So yeah, that's really interesting. See, what I was doing before is I was actually just letting off the gas completely, but to get it to pop like that, you need to actually hold it slightly. That's really interesting. Let's try it again. That sounds amazing, honestly, I love it.
It's fun.
Yeah. Let's try one more time. I'll do a little pull with it. It's just non-stop, which is kind of like, it's on command, which is probably my favorite part with it.
Yeah.
Is that since you're using the throttle to get the pops, you can pretty much decide if you want them. So if you don't want them, just release off the throttle, and if you want them, just press it ever so slightly. It's
Yeah,
really,
and I can turn the pops on and off using my cruise control.
really,
Yes.
that's interesting. So I think that's probably one of the coolest things about this car is that everything's, I guess, not adjustable, but on command with like a button almost. You just press a button and you can really change up the way the car
So
feels.
if you pull in the cruise control stock and hold it, you'll see the map. You're in map 2.
Uh-huh.
So flick it down 1. Now you're in map 1.
Uh-huh.
That's no pops.
Okay.
And
So
then map 2 is pops. So pull it in again. And then up to map 2. And then pull it in. Now you're in map 2.
So what's the difference between map 1 and map 2?
Map 1 is like chill mode.
Chill. So that means like no pops.
No pops.
Nothing like that. And then map 2.
Map 2 is obnoxious mode.
It definitely sounds. Yeah, I mean, you can hear it from. You'll be able to hear it before you can see it. But
Yeah.
I think that's what it's all about. Really just enjoying it.
Try doing a pull with it in drive.
Should I just floor it?
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to do a pull with it just in drive. Just slam the gas.
Yeah.
Okay. It definitely has that initial bite. So what I noticed from that is when you're in manual mode, that initial bite is kind of like more aggressive, but this one pushes you in your seat more. It's kind of interesting, but I like how tunable or how adjustable the car is based off of how you want to drive it. Interesting. If you enjoyed this video and want to see many more cool videos just like this one, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because I'll have a whole lot more on the channel. See you in the next one.